Hello guys and welcome back to Toucan Tarot. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. Today we're going to be doing a lovely reading. We're looking at what are they, so he, she, whichever relates to you, what are they feeling about you? Are they thinking about you? We'll go into deeper questions, but what are they feeling about you? I hope you're well. We've got three wonderful cards to choose from today. We have the lovely Kate Moss, we have Karl Lagerfeld and Naomi Campbell. So whichever card or crystal relates to you, have a think about and see what your feeling is guiding you towards. If you want to skip straight ahead, the timestamps are down below. But yeah, I just wanted to say a huge hello and welcome back to those subscribers and those that are new. Hello and welcome to my channel. I used to when I was posting, but I'm going to be posting a lot more now. But I used to get asked a lot about energy exchanges, and the best energy exchange you could possibly offer me is by watching a few of my adverts. And if you fancy it, then clicking on them. It takes just a couple of minutes of your time, but it makes the world of difference to both my channel and also gathering a little income for my family. So thank you to those that do that. Yeah, it's been a long time, but I think we should just getting my words muddled up. I think we should just dive straight in. So, what are they feeling about you? To start with, I just want you to take 3 deep breaths. So inwards, in through the nose, and out through the mouth, and again. And while you're doing that, just see which one you're most guided to. There may be messages in more than one pile, in which case, of course, go ahead if you are conflicted and just have a watch of both, because there might be messages in there for you. There we go. And again, we've got pile 1, Kate Moss, pile 2, Karl Lagerfeld, and pile 3, Naomi Campbell. So we're going to start with Kate Moss. So those of you that chose Kate Moss, welcome. And let's see and dive straight in and see what the cards are saying today. So I'm just going to pop Kate up there. I'm going to start off today by using the Star Child Tarot. I have already shuffled these before we started, but I'm going to give them another little shuffle now. And we're looking at what are they feeling about you. So let's really get a good idea of what's going on here. Let's have a look. I do all my cards upright. Every reader's different, and today I'm just being guided that way. So we have Temperance, 6 of Crystals, Serenity, Perspective, and the Page of Wands. And I'm also going to pull out some High Tarot as well, just to follow on from each of those. This is such a beautiful deck. Oh, aren't they so pretty? I love them so much. We've got the Fox, which is the 3 of Wands. We have the Bear, which is the Knight of Wands. We have the Ghost, which is the 9 of Wands. All the ones coming out for you today. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And we've got the 5 of Swords. I will be reading with my guides today, so we'll see what messages come forward for you. And I'm also going to pull out, in fact I'm feeling really guided to pull some out now for you. I'm going to pull out some Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. And we'll pop those up the top there with Kate Moss. So we have Share Your Voice and Akasha. And then of course we've got the wonderful Kate Moss there. Right, so should we just get stuck straight in, and then of course we'll pull some more out as we go along as well. Wonderful. So first of all, we're going to read these top ones here, which are going to tell us a bit about what they think of you and what they're thinking of you. And then we're going to look a little bit deeper into them. But in relation to what the question is, what are they feeling about you? Or are they thinking about you? They're definitely thinking about you without a shadow of a doubt. We've got Temperance here, and they very much see you. In fact, all of these cards, as, you spark something in them, a deep feeling of self-discovery is what's comes to mind, and they see you as such a spiritual, deep thinking, and I'm almost inclined to say that they've never quite met someone like you that's made them think so much. You know, you really are food for thought in their mind, and whenever they think of, you know, it could be anything, they wonder how you would feel about that. It's almost as if they've never met someone with your mind before, is what I'm being told here. But yeah, they see you as, you know, got temperance, they see you as a super, super balanced person, and someone that really, whether you are or not, my guide's laughing because it says you may not feel that way, but certainly that's how they perceive you for sure. You know, someone that really has been through the mill, so to speak, and with your struggles and your ups and your downs, but your ups as well. And they very much admire, you know, where you've come to. They may not bring that forward as much and communicate that to you, but that's very much what I'm seeing here. And we've also, with the Six of Crystals, you know, it's just confirming that utter balance that you have and how they see you. And yeah, it's very much food for thought that's coming through there. They're almost on a bit of tiptoe because they feel, I mean, we've got serenity here, you know, which is almost exactly the card. I'm going to show you that card here. Let me get it into focus. There you go. And it's almost like they really feel that you're just such a grounded person, and it almost not wavers them, because they're very much, as you see down here with the bear, you know, stable character themselves, but in a counter, you know, match like yourself, and as someone that they're kind of looking to in a romantic way, and this is definitely romance here, by the way, they very much see you as a solid light, is what I want to say, while they're shivering and quavering around. And that's almost something, and I'll go deeper into that down here, that's kind of stopping them, and almost the feeling that they don't quite feel, you know, it's almost like I'm seeing a knight. I mean, we've got knights here, but it's almost like I'm seeing a knight with their armour, and they don't quite feel sturdy enough in that armour to present themselves to you. And that definitely might be holding them back a bit here. But yeah, they see you as nothing but love and light. We then have the perspective as well card here, which exactly that, you know, they see you very much as, you just offer them new perspective in every single way, not only in the card quite literally, but you really make them think about things that they've never thought of, or where they've previously thought of something, you make them think very differently about it, give them new insight. And they love that. They absolutely adore that about you. But at the same time, you know, they like to be the alpha, is what's coming through. We mentioned the bear and the knight in shining armour. And it's making them feel a bit wobbly about that, but they absolutely want to come back for more. It's not, you know, off-putting, it's just different to what they've felt before. So they're in a little bit of anticipation about it, but yeah, I mean, wonderful. We've then got the Page of Wands here. You know, and really, I mean, the Page of Wands signifies an outgoing, enthusiastic individual. You know, we're looking at adventurous and risk-taking, and yeah, that's exactly you. It couldn't put it in better words than what this card is, and that's very much what they think of you, as well as being this calm, grounded person. You know, they see you as fearless, someone that loves to take risks, and as we mentioned just then, is adventurous. It's almost like they see your innocence and possible naivety that's coming through, that gives them a certain fresh outlook that, you know, may be in many ways a blessing in disguise to them, because again, they've never had anyone that's pushed them in this direction of thought before. And they've not yet been influenced. They certainly see you as someone that's, you know, you don't get influenced by stress, as an example, and chaos of the real world, which they certainly do feel. And again, my guide's laughing, because even though you may not feel this serene and put together and, you know, as I'm describing, this is how they see you. And, you know, on that note, my guide wants to just me to give you a big nudge and say, hey, we're our own worst critics, and, you know, this very much is you. You are this kind of person, and you're definitely coming through. Oh, I just got a bit emotional then, that you're way too hard on yourself. Oh, I've just got this overwhelming emotion in me. I can only think that you do not feel like this person right now, but God damn it, you are, and you need to know that. So, you know, look how others see you. You know, the worst person, imagine if you spoke to others the way you speak to yourself in your mind. You know, you need to stop doing that. I'm talking to you now. Because, you know, this is the reality of how others perceive you. And really, it doesn't matter how others perceive you, it's what you feel inside. But you need to start feeling this way because, you know, much like they've perceived from you, you really have been through the mill in your life and you've been through a lot. And, you know, I'm very much feeling, getting emotional for you again, oh my goodness. But I'm very much feeling like, you know, you're at that point where you've just had enough. And you know, when is my time is what I keep hearing as well. That's a question I think you ask yourself a lot. Whereas you don't realise quite how much you have achieved, and good things happen to good people, so your time is near. Your time is nigh and it's coming. But yeah, you really need to start viewing yourself how this person views you. And on that note, what a wonderful way, you know, because this person does see your truth and your light, and your good bits. And again, it's not that they've got rose-tinted spectacles on. They completely understand the struggles and everything that you've been through as well. They're not just looking at you through rose-tinted glasses. They're seeing you for who you actually are, which is this beautiful ray of shining light and a real adventurous, risk taker as well. So just start believing in yourself a little bit more. But yeah, you know, they really admire the way that you just appreciate life's simple pleasures, and you know, they really do see you as a bearer of positive opportunities and, you know, experiences. And there's just a certain sense of optimism, kindness, generosity, definitely some impatience, but they think that's super cute. So again, you know, we can't all be perfect, and these little kinks are actually the things that you know, the person that's meant for us actually ends up loving the most. And again, that's why I mentioned that this person isn't seeing you with rose-tinted spectacles. They are seeing you, and they love even those little quirks like your impatience as well. But yeah, overall, I have to say I'm getting a beautiful vibe from this person in just the way that they regard you. You know, that's always the biggest telltale of someone, is how they perceive you. And that's what matters, because, because the person we end up with should think we're the best thing in the world. But yeah, definitely, before we go into them and their feelings and where they're at, you know, I really want to say that they just think you're quite wonderful. That's the perfect way to sum it up. An adventurous, cheeky, you know, risk taker who, but yet is so grounded, and the word serenity keeps coming in. Apologies for that noise. I've got neighbours that are doing so many renovations at the moment, literally all around me, so apologies if you can hear that. But yeah, super positive, super positive. But the biggest thing here is, again, the thinking. You know, you make them think in a way that they've never thought before. It's like you have a new angle, a new perspective on things, and they love that, really love that. Let's have a look down here. So we're going to go on to their thoughts now, and we've got the fox, the bear, the ghost, the disguise, and the knife. The fox. How would I describe the fox? There's definitely a bit of anticipation, foresight, exploration are the words that are coming to mind. Anticipation, much as we said before, you know, it's almost as if they feel that you're this total powerhouse, and they're not quite sure if they're ready for you yet, which of course is silly, because you wouldn't be watching this video wondering about them if you didn't, you know, love. I don't really want to say love, because you may not be quite in love with them yet, but if you didn't love or like them for exactly who they are, you wouldn't be here watching it. So it's definitely a little bit of insecurity on their end, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, if we were to explain this card a little bit further, I mean, what do we know about the fox? The fox watches from the dark safety, you know, the undergrowth almost, don't they? Looking out at the wild world. But yeah, it's almost like they're ready for a quick dash, almost, like they really want to go for it. But again, there's something keeping them back. I mean, rather than reacting to situations with heat and intensity, it's almost, you know, they're very cool and deliberate and considerate, you know, and they can take things into consideration, and that definitely sums up this person, almost to a fault, because clearly you're ready, but they just want to get themselves a little bit polished off, and like the fox, they're not rushing into anything. They take their time, they peer through, and you know, when they're ready to strike, oh my goodness, they will. But yeah, there's definitely not even quite insecurity. They know that they can absolutely be the one for you, but it's almost like they don't feel quite polished enough already yet. We've then got the Kings of Wands, the bear, and again, you know, this very much shows off their personality. What do we know about the bear? Protective, you know, big cuddly bear as well. So definitely this is someone that's going to be able to protect you. And this is the big lead up to what's stopping them, is they just want to make sure that all the kinks are in place. There's definitely something else going on here though. I want to say that there's almost somebody else in the background that's kind of, not that they're involved with, I almost want to say someone in the past, but that's not quite leaving them alone. And they're almost, you know, we've got the Five of Swords here, they're almost sticking the knife in, which is, you know, it's, there's conflict there. But this person is changing, you know, I'm not sure if you know any of their exes, but they weren't right for them, hence why their ex is right. But there's one that's quite toxic, I almost want to say, that for some reason I think is still there on the outlines, but certainly is of no worry to you, absolute no worry at all. Like I said, you are a breath of fresh air. They've never met someone like you, and if anything, you being in the picture is really highlighting, you know, the things that have been wrong with their past relationships and so forth. So definitely nothing for you to worry about, but yeah, it's almost like the doubts, that's where they come from, is this person. And again, definitely I'm not getting a feeling that they're still romantically involved, but they're still somehow on the scene, but they're overcoming that, so that's not something for you to worry about at all. You know, they are working on themselves hugely. We've got the ghost here, and you know, certainly what I'll say, the Nine of Wands, you know, something's coming to fruition in them. They're in fulfillment. They're getting ready to just burst into exactly who they want to be. But yeah, a lot of things have been holding them back as well. We've also got the Knight of Pentacles over here, and definitely they're just, I'm seeing journey, big journeys here, and the wanting to go on that journey. They very much do see you as a person that they'd love to do that with, but they're almost going through their own journey of their own. There's definitely conflict within them, and again, this comes from nothing to do with you, but everything to do with their past and what's come before you. So patience is the word that I'm hearing, that you just need to have a little patience, trust in you, keep on doing you, and you absolutely have an admirer here waiting to, as we said with the fox, to pounce. But yeah, unfortunately they're not as quick off the mark as you know, like them to be, shall we say. You did choose Kate Moss. Let's have a look at Kate Moss. Pictures don't explain, and neither should you. Always be the rock star, work the lights and your best angles. Exactly that, you know, pictures don't explain and neither should you. This is nothing that you need to work on with yourself, or what can I do different? I hear that you're asking, or am I doing the right things? Or there's nothing at all you should do. You just need to crack on and be Kate Moss. You know, a wonderful thing about Kate Moss is she wasn't interested in changing the narrative. In fact, out of all the supermodels, certainly by today's standards, she was very private. You know, no one knew anything about Kate Moss. There was a real, you know, allure around her of well, people didn't know about her, mystery. She was very mysterious. She gave, I think, goodness, 2 interviews in her whole life. I think one when she was with Johnny Depp. This was, of course, when in the height of her career. Obviously, I know she's been in interviews a lot more these days, but even then, not really. You know, you don't see her. She's not on social media. She doesn't feel the necessity to correct the narrative about her. She never has. That's been one of the most kick-ass wonderful things about her. And it's just reminding that is exactly and something that they admire about you. They see this in you. They love that. So you're doing all the right things. You needn't do anything. You needn't change any narratives or wonder how. You just need to absolutely keep rocking you. We've got Akasha here as well. Your guidance is divinely guided. Beautiful card. Yeah, exactly that. You know, you're absolutely being divinely guided at the moment. Rock star, much like Kate Moss, is what I'm feeling right now. You know, you just need to keep on doing your thing. Definitely the biggest thing that came up with them is this real groundedness and meditation kind of vibe that comes off of you. I'm guessing that you do meditate. If you don't, you need to start, because that's something that will really help you. But I don't just mean, you know, closing your eyes, finding your chi and going off. I mean really meditate. Almost you need to start journeying in your meditations. If you're not sure quite how to do that, feel free to get in touch and I'll kind of point you in the right direction. But yeah, do some guided meditations. Meditations are wonderful, especially when you journey. They kind of carve through to your innermost thoughts, and there's messages from your own guides waiting for you in there. If you've already met your guides, there's more to meet, is what I'm being told. So yeah, deep meditation is something, and you are being your guidance is divinely guided. And if you kind of, I'm almost seeing the third eye chakra here. You know, if you just open that third eye chakra up, and the heart chakra, you've got a lot of love inside you. Such beautiful vibes I'm getting here. But if you can just open up that third eye chakra a little bit more, you know, you'll see, almost like we mentioned about them, seeing that you make them think differently. You know, they might have thought of the same thing their whole life, and then you give your perspective on it and they're like, huh, right, I see, okay, let's maybe take that road then. You need to do that yourself more, you know, because you may think that you know exactly what something is, but there's new angles to look at, is what I'm hearing, and meditation will really help you see those new angles. Share your voice. Come out of the cave, persecution and expression. Beautiful card here. With this is definitely in relation to yourself, my guide's saying, and something we said at the very beginning, which was, you know, you're way too harsh. Come out of the cave of, you know, your self-doubt and how you feel about yourself. It's the most damaging thing to you. Your voice in your mind is the most damaging thing to you. You need to stop with the down talk, and you know, and again, you don't display this outwardly, so it's not something that other people think of you, but it's your own thoughts. And again, the word toxic is coming in a little bit here, not hugely, but you know, they do you no good, darling. So literally, you need to be rid of them. Get them out of your head, all this self-doubt and so forth. You can achieve anything. You're being divinely guided, and for everything you've been through, oh, here come the emotion again, so I get super emotional when I read, but through everything you've been through, oh my God, if you could see the wonderful person that you are, then your light would shine even brighter than it already is, which is something quite beautiful. So yeah, you really need to just step out of your own cave and, you know, start expressing yourself to you in a much shinier way. I'm going to just get you to take a look at this. It's almost like you're in this cave of thoughts, but look how beautiful it is out here. You know, and again, this is not about anybody else. It's about you and what goes on in your own mind. So really important, start meditating. Affirmations is something that would really serve you well in the morning. You may feel a little bit silly at first, you know, looking in the mirror and saying, I'm beautiful, I'm happy, I'm free, and all of these things. You know, you need to write your own list, of course. But the more you say it, you know, we very much are what we think. And the more you say it, the more you repeat it, the more you believe it, the more you become it. So again, it's just about replacing these negative thoughts, getting them right out the way and bringing in the beautiful, wonderful thoughts. But yeah, what a lovely reading, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to go in a little bit more on the extended. If you'd like to view the extended to this, hit the link below. But all in all, a beautiful reading. I think in the extended we're going to go a little bit more into you, and we'll also go a little bit more into them as well. See what's going on with this past situation. But also, most importantly, we're going to have a look as well at your past. That's what I'm being guided to do here. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, click the extended link below for Pile 1 Kate Moss, and I'll see you there in a second. For those of you that you're going to stop here, thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope you found lots of wonderful messages in here for you. Certainly, I've felt nothing but beautiful vibes. So sending so much peace and love and light for you. I always do a lovely little meditation at the end of my reading. So as soon as I finish the extended, expect lots of love and light to come your way. Yeah, peace, love and light, and we'll speak soon. And extended, I'll see you in just a second. Take care, guys. Hello, Pile 2. For those of you that chose the wonderful Karl Lagerfeld, then this reading is for you. And we're looking at what are they thinking about you. So we're going to be diving into that question today, and we'll answer a multitude of questions after that. But yeah, shall we get started? Thank you so much for those new people that are new to my channel. Wonderful to see you. And for those returning, oh, I love you so much. I'm forever grateful. As I mentioned, you know, the biggest energy exchange you guys can do for me is just by watching one of the short adverts. And if you feel like it, click on the link as well. And oh, it just, you know, that small minute for you or 2 minutes for you makes the world of difference to myself. So thank you, those of you that have been doing that in the past and continue to. I'm forever grateful. I have given these a good shuffle already from my past, from after doing Pile 1, but we're going to be using the Star Child Tarot today. And again, what are they feeling about you? Oh, bear with me 1 second, actually. Actually, no, it's fine. I was going to close the window, but we'll have some air coming in. Hopefully there won't be too much noise. So yeah, what are they feeling about you? I do read with my guides, so we'll get some messages come through today, but I read more through my guides really than the cards. The cards just act as a kind of trigger, if you like. I should point out as well that today I'm being guided to read all upright, so we're not going to have any reverse in the deck today. And let's see what is happening. So we're going to start off. We have the Seven of Swords. Put these over here. We have the Akashic Records. Interesting. We have the Eight of Swords. A lot of swords. Four of Cups. Move these down a bit. And then we have the Eight of Crystals. And this is really what their thoughts are on you. And I'm going to be using the High Tarot, which is such a beautiful deck. Those of you tarot readers out there, I highly recommend it. And it's actually a friend of ours, Dan Francis. And he's such a talented artist. He's just wonderful. And I love them, you know, when they just feel so nice to shuffle. But yeah, let's pull out some of these to dive a bit more into them. And them themselves, not just their thoughts on you, but where those stem from. And we have the Bull, which is the Moon. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Lovers. Always good to come up in a love reading. We have the High Priestess. Interesting. And we have the King of Cups. I'm also going to just go right ahead and I'm going to pull some Work Your Light Oracle cards from Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel, who I absolutely adore. Their artwork is wonderful. This is Danielle Noel's deck here, Star Child. And let's pull a couple of these just for some messages for yourself. And we've got Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, so beautiful. And of course we've got Karl Lagerfeld, which I'll go into in a moment. And then the Pillar of Light as well, which again we'll go into more in just a second. So lovely start, and yeah, shall we just dive straight into it? I think so. So we're going to start with you up here and their direct thoughts of you. First of all, we've got the goodness, we've got quite a few swords in here. Just confirm with my guides here. They view you as extremely guarded. Apologies if you hear that noise in the background. Please try your best to ignore it. My neighbours are having so many renovations. God damn them. But yeah, there's definitely a feeling of reservedness from them. So they think you're definitely not showing your full self to them. You know, they see you as being quite cagey not in a bad way, you know, their interest is still piqued. It's not turning them off at all. But yeah, they're definitely a feeling here. We see that with the Seven of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Four of Cups, in fact. And it's all, again, stemming from, I almost want to say, they're very intrigued by you because you've not given your full deck of hands. In their belief, is what I'm hearing here, is they, and again, whether this is true, this is what they think, you know, what they're thinking about you, is that they think that this stems into your past somehow. Their automatic assumption is that you've been hurt in the past. So, you know, you're scared to kind of open up to them. And it is putting them on a bit of a back footer. Again, not a negative one, and I'm really inclined to point that out. It's not negative, but it's almost putting them on a back footer in the sense that they're not sure how to approach. You know, they're not sure quite how to go in. You're very, to them, you, my guide is very much saying, you know, you may disagree with this in who you think you are, but the way they perceive you is that, yeah, you're very caged off. I almost want to add the word bored a little bit here. That's not necessarily bored of them. They don't feel that you're bored of them, but just bored in general. You know, they feel like life is frustrating you quite a bit at the moment. They really want to help with that. I'll go in again to their feelings towards that, but it is definitely something that they really want to help with. You see that there with the Four of Cups, and, you know, she's kind of just sitting there, not sure what to do next, bit bored of how things are, a bit stagnant, shall we say. But yeah, it's almost, however, that this intrigue, they're massively intrigued by it though, because, you know, I think definitely in their experience, they're used to quite open communication with people, and you're actually giving them quite the opposite, shall we say, which is leaving, you know, that air of mystery. So it's certainly not a bad thing that there's definitely that mysterious vibe going on, and again, it's not a derogatory thing, it's actually working for you. Having said that, my guides are saying now, you know, that you should open up here, and you do have nothing to fear. You know, this caginess does, you know, they're quite right in the sense that it does stem from the past, but it doesn't serve you in the future. So that's something definitely for you to meditate on, and look back. We've also got here the Akashic Records, and for those of you that are spiritual, or the readers of this video, shall I say, you'll know exactly what they are. For those of you that don't know, I mean, goodness, where do I start? They represent almost an energetic matrix, if you like, an imprint of, goodness, every emotion, action, thought, word, experience that literally has ever taken place throughout the universe, if you like. So it's everything and anything and everything. Historically, let me pull this up here so you can have a little look. But yeah, historically, it's been described as almost like a living library, you know, if you like. Great etheric space, or a collection of basic mystical knowledge, and that's definitely the vibe they get from you, even though you are so closed off. It's almost like they see that they're so intrigued by you, because the little that you do say and the little that you do give away, they're like fly to a light, you know, they're loving what they're hearing and saying. But yeah, the Akashic Records, it literally, ask my guys the best way to explain this, it connects to the limitless potentials that exist before us in all linear and non-linear, for that matter, directions, as well as, you know, the history of our past incarnations and soul experiences. It's literally, if you like, a library. So every living thing, every living being on this planet, everything, literally has a unique Akashic record that's specific to them. And also contributes, of course, to the Universal Akashic Library. But in ancient, I think it's ancient Egypt where it derived from, it may be described as the Great Hall of Records, if you like. But it's basically the Book of Life, or the Tree of Life. They see you very much as that, you know, a creator of your own reality. So the way they look at you, even though, again, you're so caged off, they do see huge wisdom in you, and huge, I want to say, maturity, understanding. they're just super intrigued. I literally just see wonder in front of me. It's almost like they look at you and it's a pure wonder, in a really beautiful, good light. You know, they see nothing but just they want to know more. They're so itching and dying to know more, and you're not quite giving them enough. But again, I mean, it's working in the sense that, you know, you've got them coming back for more and they want to know more about you. But at the same time, my guide's saying here, you know, don't be too complacent with this, and do make sure that you do open up a little bit more. And that's not, you know, just in relation to this person, but in everything, you know. I will be doing an extended to this, and we'll go into a little bit more about that and where that comes from with you. But yeah, my guide just wants me to remind you that, you know, it's not healthy to remain in this state all of the time. And those things that have hurt you in the past, you know, now's the time to deal with them and hit them head on. Going over here, obviously, with the Four of Cups, and we spoke about that boredom almost. They definitely see that with you. They see that you're frustrated with where you are, you want more, and you're wondering what direction to take. So there's a lot of mystery here at the moment. A lot of mystery. We've got the Eight of Crystals, and, you know, we speak about new beginnings, and definitely on... They know that you're just about to burst, basically. They see you as this person, that you've got these ideas. Obviously, you're bored with what's happening at the moment, but that you're about to go, and they're super excited to know exactly where that's going to lead, especially on your career and life front, not just in regards to love, which they are super interested in. And I will tell you now, this person is definitely interested in you romantically, but I'm almost getting beyond that. It's more than just a romantic level. It's, you know, they definitely connect with you, and whether not only romantic, but this will be a great friendship, which is where all of the best love stories, you know, derive from, or certainly your lover should be your best friend. And so, yeah, there's more of a deeper connection here than just a fancy. You know, this person genuinely cares about you and genuinely is excited to see what's happening next without any shadow of a doubt. So that's super positive. When we look at them, we've got the Bull, the Moon, the Moth, which is the Page of Wands, the Glove, which is the Lovers, the High Priestess, and then the King of Cups. Guys, I'm getting nothing but good energy about this person. Definitely, I love the way that they've, you know, Dan has... The analogy is put of the bull on the moon. You know, it's very much... I want to say risky, you know, that they've got to that point in life where they do feel almost complete, like this full moon that we see. But definitely, because of that, this person is willing to take risks, which can be, you know, grab life by the horns of the bull, so to speak, and it can be a bit bumpy, but as long as you hold on to those horns, then everything's going to be okay. So there's definitely, you know, real go-getter attitude in this person. And I want to say a solid, you know, we see that obviously coming over here with the King of Cups. We've got the High Priestess, and the Page of Wands as well. There's definitely... I almost want to say immature isn't the right word. It's more of an excited and eager temperament to this person. They're up for adventure, you know, they're up for journeys and adventure, both in life, in love, everywhere. The main reason why you intrigue them so much, you know, nothing... This person doesn't like the easy pass, you know, they like to be challenged, they like things that do challenge them, and you certainly are that. Which my guide is saying is funny, because I don't think you really see yourself like this, but this person most certainly does. They definitely are looking romantic. We've got the Lovers here, and I love the way, again, Dana's put this card like the perfect fitting glove, you know, when a glove fits perfectly, fits like a glove, and they really feel that about you. They feel like that about life in general, you know, they're definitely getting the vibe of someone that is very happy where they are, and very content. That's not to say they're kind of stuck, so to speak, or they're just, you know, they're there, so they're ready. They're forever growing, forever inspired, and evolving is the word that's coming to me now. Definitely with the High Priestess, you know, one thing which they are itching for is almost to take that step back, and you almost give them this, I think, because of your sturdy exterior, you know, they're definitely a lot more open than you are, without a shadow of a doubt. We see that with the King of Cups here as well, and you know, the moon over there. They're much more emotionally open, and in every way, I would say, more open than you are. But they've taken a bit of a, not a lesson, but you know, they've taken note of the way you preserve and present yourself. And it's made them kind of think back. I mean, we spoke about the Akashic records here, and you know, they really do see you as so much wisdom and wonder that it's almost kind of put them on the back foot to say, there's more to learn here, and I want to, it's almost like a grounding. I want to ground and work out what's here. So there's a lot of inward thinking with this person at the moment, and deep rooting that's taking place, for a deeper understanding within themselves as well. So yeah, they're going through quite a time of recollecting their thoughts and ideas about themselves, and reevaluating those, so to speak, which is really, you know, wonderful process for anyone to go through. And it's a bit like the dog, you know, they don't, well, sometimes they just jump in straight away, but also they kind of, you know, when you kind of give a dog a command or say something that they're not used to, they kind of sit there not quite sure what to do. It's that moment there that they're in of, they're thinking about it, you know, they're wondering what to do next and so forth. And that is in relation to themselves and you too. So you definitely put them again on that back foot where they're not quite sure which direction or where to go with it. And then we've got the King of Cups. What a wonderful card, the iris at the end. You know, I mean, goodness, I love the way this is, the iris. It's so beautiful. The petals are just so vivid and bright as I mean, if you know the iris in life, I mean, obviously this is black and white card, but they're so beautiful and colourful. And, you know, especially, it's one of my favourite flowers, the iris, and I just feel it harbours such a deep knowledge of emotion. And the same with the King of Cups, right, that people literally look upon them and feel calm, and that's the energy that this person gives off in abundance. You've probably noticed that as well. They've got a really calming vibe about them. But yeah, they have a understanding, or this person does certainly, of the needs of others, and with yourself. You know, they react to situations with optimism, diplomacy is another thing I'll say, and they just naturally see the best in you and other people. They're very much a positive person in that sense, and much like obviously we know about the cups, it's a very emotional suit, all about emotion. It rules emotion, and the king of that is this person. So you know, they're super intuitive about emotions, and so forth. But yeah, they cheer up those around them. They bring light to the room, and definitely that's what they're wanting to do for you. And again, this is a reason why, you know, you shouldn't necessarily hold yourself back too much, because you've got a really great vibe person here, and you know, regardless what's happened in the past to make you this guarded, and again we'll go into that in our extended reading, you needn't necessarily be with this person. This is a person that you can trust somewhat, to open up to a little bit more, and know that, you know, they will handle your heart with delicacy, is the word that's coming through. And you chose Karl Lagerfeld. I'm going to read this to you. It's great. I love Karl. Your opinion is the only one that matters. Leaders never dress down. Don't compete, conquer. And this is just to remind yourself. You know, I had it's a similar vibe of the Pile 1 actually, and definitely I am getting a lot of similar vibes from you guys. So, you know, if you're enjoying this reading, do go and have a look at Pile 1 as well, because I think the messages in there certainly will relate to you. But it's definitely a vibe of, you know, the guardedness. What's coming through here for my guide is, you know, the reason you're so guarded is your fear, not only of letting the hurt creep in and the possibility of being hurt creep in, but you don't trust others with who you really are, and you should do. You know, Karl Lagerfeld, he didn't give, excuse my language, but a shit about what others thought of him. He was just solely implicitly himself and owned it. And definitely hearing that you need a little bit more Karl in your life, you know, and again, not to worry so much about what other things, because actually, much like you beam with knowledge and this, just beautiful, I'm going to show you that Akashic Records card, beautiful vibe. you don't realise how powerful you are, literally, to those around. Even being this guardian and the little bit you let shine through blows people away. So you don't need to worry about the thoughts of others. You just need to be true to yourself and let that shine out now as well. We've also got Anna, grandmother of Jesus, sending the light, laying foundations and divine plan. I love Anna. This is just to say, you know, you are being looked after. You are being spiritually hugged in every way, and that there is a divine plan for you. I just confirm with my guide here. I'm getting the vibe of a very spiritual person, and whatever it is, you need to go deeper into that. But this venture, you know, we spoke about their thoughts and that you're a bit bored at the moment. That's very true, and you're literally on the cusp. Excuse me. Oh, you get a sip of my drink there. You're literally on the cusp of something really cool and awesome here. I mean, in regards to, I'm almost saying a project or a work venture. It's the start of the divine plan for you, whatever that may be, and I hope this makes sense to you. It's the start of a divine plan, and now is the time to start laying those foundations. Stop withering around. It does not serve you any purpose. You need to start with action. So action is the biggest word that's coming through here. You need to literally grab it and go for it, rather than just stop procrastinating on it and do it. Do something about it. And we then got the pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You are the goddamn oracle. You've got Akashic records and the pillars of light. You know, it just oozes out of you. And imagine, I almost want to do this as an analogy. Imagine you're showing that much right now, and all of this goodness is rising out. Imagine what will happen when you uncover the whole lot. The world is literally your oyster. You have something very special about you. We spoke about them and this King of Cups and lighting up rooms. You know, you have got something so... I just got the most wonderful, goosebumpy, lovely vibe feeling flows through me there. Your energy is just next level. I almost want to say it reminds me of my sister, who just is the most incredible person. You're reminding me a lot of her and her vibes, and oh my god, you just need to know how special you are. But again, you're showing this much, uncover it all and magic will happen. Stop procrastinating. I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. I'm going to go into the extended now. I really want to get into not only your new venture a little bit more, but we're going to hit upon your past too. And then obviously we'll get a little bit more from this person here. But just know that they are definitely interested. They just wish that you'd show them a little bit more of yourself. Thank you so much for listening to this reading. I hope it resonated with you. Again, do head to pile 1, you guys, because there's definitely some more messages to be had in there as well for you. There's similar vibes in regards to your past going on. So if you have the time, head over there. But for now, we're going to go straight to the extended. You can find the link below, so I will see you there in a moment. For those of you that don't join, thank you so much. Sending so much love and light. Don't forget to like this video. It helps a ton with these weird YouTube algorithms and all that nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense. It helps me, but it is crazy, isn't it? But yeah, if you could like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. I am now back on the scene. We're going to be doing lots more videos. Let me know as well. I love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know what kind of videos that you'd like to see moving forwards. I am all ears, open to any suggestions. After all, this channel is for you guys. So love and light, and I'll see you over on the extended in just a second. Pile 3, those of you that chose the wonderful, glorious Naomi Campbell, welcome to your reading. So today we're doing What Are They Thinking About You? So let's dive straight in. I'm going to start with the Star Child Tarot. I've already given these a good shuffle. And as many of you know, I do read predominantly from my guides. If you've been to my channel before, you'll know that. So really the cards just act as almost like a trigger, so to speak. But let's see what messages we've got for you today. First of all, I'm going to pull you some cards. So this is directly for what they're feeling about you or what they think of you. 4 of Cups. I'm being guided not to do reverse today, for those of you that are wondering. 9, Knight of Crystals. 6 of Wands. these over here a bit. 10 of crystals. Oh, interesting. And the 10 of swords. And then I'm going to pull some out for them to go a little bit deeper into what they're feeling. For these, I'm going to be using the High Tarot, which for those of you tarot readers out there, it's such a beautiful, I mean, I may be slightly biased. Dan is my friend who created these, but they're such a wonderful, wonderful deck, and they're so gosh to shuffle, which you readers will appreciate. But yeah, we're going to be pulling the High Tarot to look a little bit deeper into their emotions and to them, and ask a few questions. Tell us a bit more about them as well. Let's have a look. We have the Rabbit, which is the Page of Swords. We also have the Monster, which is the Knight of Swords. Don't be put off by that name there. And then we also have the Stag, the World. So really, the Hanged Man. And the Sun. Whew, got quite a lot of majors there. And then I'm going to pull out, I'm feeling guided to have a look at the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell and Danielle Noel. Danielle Noel is actually the creator of the Star Child as well. I love, love, love her illustrations. They're so beautiful. But let's see what these have to say. These are for you. So we've got protection. We have Starseed as well. They're so beautiful, aren't just the images stunning, and the starseed as well. But we'll go into these in a little bit more depth shortly. So, should we just get cracking straight into it? I think so. Let's go. Okay. So we've got an interesting deck, guys. Interesting spread, rather. Tune into my guides here just to get some clarification. Definitely their views of you, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, we've got the 4 of Cups, Knight of Crystals, 6 of Wands, 10 of Crystals, and the 10 of Swords. And they view you as a super positive, very smart person. I definitely feel that, where do I start? Let me start with the Knight of Crystals. 6 of Wands. So definitely, as I said, they feel you as not only smart but hardworking, and an extremely loyal is what's coming through, you know, a responsible person who always follows through with promises and so forth and plans. They think, you know, they see you as patient, level-headed. You might be laughing, but this is definitely the way they see you. For those of you that don't quite, you know, associate yourself to these qualities, they certainly do. But yeah, someone just super level-headed, you know, that can think diligently in any situation. I mean, the Knight of Crystals as an example, whilst not being the most adventurous type, shall we say, compared to the other knights, they make such loving and devoted friends and partners, and they definitely see that in you. They do see you as that you can be a little conservative and overcautious in your views, but that's not a negative in any circumstance at all. You know, that you might be, shall we say, inflexible to others at times, but that's just because you're so strong in your thoughts and your own views and so forth, and that is a wonderful, wonderful thing to have. You know, you are very sure in yourself and as I said, your views, so you're not easily swayed, which they definitely admire about you. They too have these kind of qualities as well. For you, it's definitely you know, not to your detriment. To them, a little bit. We'll go into them in a moment though. But yeah, overall they see you as just, you know, we see with the 6 of Wands here, which is really just harmony and balance. You see the two working in complete harmony together. You know, very balanced person, very stable, feet on the ground, know what you want, and hugely successful. And we've got the 10 of Crystals here, which, you know, just reeks of completion and certainly in the monetary sense and work life, they see you as very together. They do see you that you can get bored quite easily. We've got the 4 of Cups over here. But overall, just a really strong, hard-working, steady, solid person, rather, that knows exactly what they want. There's something about you, I mean, we've got the Ten of Swords over here, and what's coming across, and let me just confirm with my guides, yeah, they're very much, they think that, and this is their thoughts on you, remember, so this isn't reality, this is what they're thinking of you. They think there's some kind of deceit there, but I'm not so sure if it is actually deceit. I think because you are just so, listen, this person is a very strong-minded, raw type of person, and we'll go into them in a moment. And because of that, I think that they quite easily walk over others that they've been through in their past. So obviously when they're met with you, you're so strong and resilient and don't just waver, that they're like, they must be holding something. You know, anytime this person doesn't necessarily get their way, they deflect it on the other person, if that makes sense. So, they think that there's maybe, I don't want to say deceit necessarily, but yeah, something that you're holding back on, or they're not quite sure. It's like a bit of a trust thing with them, but again, it doesn't stem from anything to do with your vibe, it stems from them. So overall, they really see you as, a perfect person for them, is the first thing I'll say, so that will make you happy. Coming on to them, I always say with my readings, guys, that I want to tell you what comes through, not what you want to hear. That's not to say, that sounded really negative, didn't it? That's not to say that there's all negativity about this person, but my guide is saying tread carefully here. This kind of character, goodness, where do I start? We've got the rabbit here, and definitely what's coming through, that quite manipulative, enmity. There's something about them that it's almost like invasive thoughts. They're very, very inward thinking. You see that with the Knight of Swords here, which again I'll go into in a moment. But they're very, very inward in their thinking. They're very in their head. And they're not very, what's the nicest way to put this? When things are pointed out negatively about themselves, it's never their fault. They deflect a lot on others, and that's what we were talking up here. It isn't necessarily anything in your character, but instantly it's like, well, why? I don't trust them. They're lying to me, or boom, boom, boom. And it's not. It's just actually a reflection in their own mind. They're very, very heady. Sometimes in not a nice way. My guides are saying that, do be careful of that. This person can be quite manipulative. I almost want to say the word gaslighty as well. They're quite prone to that because, again, they just deflect. So it's never their fault. So do bear that in mind, because that's quite a dangerous territory to be stepping into. There is good news up here. So don't, this isn't a psychopath, I hope. But definitely tread carefully with this person. They're not as all may seem on the outside. We've got the monster here, the Knight of Swords, and listen, the monster is quite a drastic, dramatic word for them, the way Dan's depicted this card. But really, it's just about, they're quite an agitated person, the cockatrice, or, it's quite a volatile mixture. An explosive creature is what we would call this cock. That is here in English. That means something whole different, but it is a cock. But yeah, they're quite volatile, and again explosive. They can be quite troublesome to get along with, but they're excellent innovators. And this person, they've got quite a unique brain that can often, brilliant problem solvers, but much like the cock that we've got there, the cockerel, quite pecky, On the good side of that, they are wonderful. They're very, very smart, but there's I don't want to say dangerous. Please tread carefully with this character, guys. There is an undertone here which isn't coming through as the nicest vibe, and again, it's that manipulative-y kind of vibe. We have the World here as well, the Hanged Man and the Sun. There is light there. Sometimes we're not the best version of ourselves, right? We all go through times where we don't show off the best of ourselves. I would say that they're still in that mold. They've not kind of evolved through it yet. So if you are ready to take on that, then this is your person. But one thing that I'd like you, I mean, you're smart, you've got your, excuse my French, but you've got your shit together, you know, so whether you'll have patience for somebody like this, the good news about you is you're quite good at spotting these kind of traits. So, you know, don't let them get away with it. Call them out, you know, because definitely this person needs somebody like that for sure. But I just need you to know to tread carefully. And we've got protection up here as well. You know, that saying, guide saying, and the message to you is that, you know, protect yourself around this. Make sure you're making the right moves. And, you know, there's no question of the sense that you could have this person, but it's, do you want them, to be quite frank? And they do think, you know, that you're awesome. And again, you know, they look at themselves much in that same way here as a very complete person. But what I fear is that they've not evolved enough to see the negatives in someone. And this is what we were saying earlier, you know, my guide's saying there's nothing wrong with bad character traits. It's what makes us, you know, the biggest mistakes we make in life are our best, you know, when we manage to undo those, they're the best lessons of all. And, you know, it's bad times and mistakes and bad character traits. If we can evolve from those, we can learn from them. And, you know, certainly the person that can come out of the end of these kind of situations is better for it. But this person hasn't come out of the end yet, so you just need to be careful. We've got the dragonfly, you know, the hanged man. I love this perfect analogy that Dan's got here from this card. And if you can imagine a dragonfly, they're super quick, right? They're like, phew, phew, phew. But then also, they just suspend and just stay there in midair, don't they? And that's almost what this person's doing at the moment. They're not evolving, they're almost stuck in this rut. And that's because they very much don't think there's anything to do. You know, they very much believe that they're this horse and, you know, knight in shining armour, and that they're complete and they're the world, and that there's nothing really to change about them. And that's the dangerous part, is that there actually is. So this person could do with a bit of real talk for themselves, and I'd love to do a reading for this person because they definitely need it. But so yeah, my advice to you, and I'm so sorry that this may not be what you want to hear, but tread carefully or stay away. You know, I mean, some of us are fixated on fixing others. You know, we go for the people that are broken to build them up and so forth. I've got a feeling that the majority of you are just not that way, and actually you won't have the patience for this. But if you are that type of person, protect yourself, you know, because there is a lot of manipulation here and gaslighty characteristics that are coming through from this person. You did get the protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Just remember that. Remember this. You picked Naomi Campbell, which I'm so glad. She is so fierce, and that's why I say the majority of you that have realised your fierceness, you know, this won't be an issue. You won't have the patience for it when you get a bit closer. But those of you that haven't, just be careful. But those of you that haven't, no, you've got Naomi Campbell vibes. Tiger. Look at all these beautiful tiger prints. For those of you that know Naomi Campbell, or have heard of her before, she's absolutely fearless. She was like a supermodel back in the 90s and is still so beautiful and gorgeous now. But yeah, I'm going to read out what the card says. If you fall off your platform, throw your head back and smile. Be the jewel in the crown. Super set rules, they don't follow them. And that's her. And you're quite like that anyway. You know, you've got your stuff together and you're quite raw, you're accomplished, and so forth. So be more, just keep your Naomi Campbell vibe about you. It's so apt that you chose her. And then the next one we pulled was Starseed. What lights you up? Starseed is a wonderful card. It's asking you to kind of dig in and figure out a little bit more. You are accomplished. You have got to a certain extent the certain place you want to be, or the start of the place you want to be. But this is asking you to dig a bit deeper. And really ask yourself what lights you up. There's so much more out there for you. And I'm being directed and guided here to tell you that you need to focus more on your passions and things that make you happy. Because, you know, in truth of the matter is what I'm hearing is you could conquer pretty much anything you put your mind to. So therefore, put your mind to something that serves you, you know, that actually is going to give you a little bit more. I'm going to, let's have a look. I'm going to give you a Moonology card in regards to the two of you. But yeah, there's a few weird vibes about this reading, guys, and I'm so sorry that that may not be what you want to hear. On the plus side, you're flying and you're doing great and you're solid and you're strong. Don't let this person ever tell you otherwise. If you do decide to venture into this, just again, have that protection around you. You know, if you are spiritual or even if you're not, definitely we all, us in the spiritual community and everyone in life should do this. We take a moment, and well, certainly I do in the morning, to ground myself, throughout the day even, if I'm ever feeling a little bit, whew. And when you're doing that grounding, it's just very much holding your thought, imagining your roots going down, and grounding yourself to the earth. When you do that, just imagine literally, or in your meditation, whichever rituals you do, or if you don't do this, just, you know, slowly close your eyes, get into a bit of a meditation, and picture yourself putting that protection, I like to call it protection bubble, around you, and just, yeah, be mindful of protection is what I will say. I'm going to pull out a Moonology card for you now as well. Let's see what we've got here. Have faith in your dreams, waxing moon crescent. Again, I'm so sorry it's not what you want to hear, but you know, my guide's telling me now, this isn't about them. This is about that this might not be the right person for you, but have faith that the right one is out there. And also your dreams, we spoke about earlier, you know, really now's a time for you. You've accomplished and conquered and done a lot of the things you want to, but now it's asking you to kind of look beyond that and look at what you're actually so super passionate about. Because again, you could conquer the absolute world. Everything is in your grasp and reach. It's just a case of choosing which path to take. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I'm going to go over on the extended and we're going to look a little bit more into this character. And we'll dive a little bit more into you, but I'm going to mainly focus on them because we're going to look at why this person's like this and if there's any hope. But yeah, love and light to you. I'm sorry if this wasn't exactly what you wanted to hear. Please don't shoot the messenger, for that is all I am. And yeah, love and light to you. If you're not coming over to the extended, just tread carefully here, guys. I always do a meditation at the end of my reading, and I've actually just passed my Reiki as well, so I'm going to send you lots of love and healing and light, so expect some good vibes coming your way shortly, and just love and light to you all. Thank you so much. Please do click like and subscribe if anything resonated with you here. It helps me so much and is a wonderful energy exchange, and yeah, love and light to you. I will see those that are coming to the extended in a moment, link below. Peace out, guys. See you in a mo.